Hola mis amores, hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, then you know what to do. You don't need to watch this entire intro. And today's video is another amazing collaboration, pick a reader, pick a card, to find out how a psychic would describe you to others. And if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Velvet Cat, and I share knowledge and inspiration through art and tarot to provide answers for any questions you could be experiencing in your life, advice messages from the angels that are watching over us, motivation to follow your dreams, and all around empower you in love, career, health, mind, and soul. If you're completely new to tarot, or perhaps you might have heard of it before, I'd first like to start by mentioning that it is not what you might expect. I've come to learn that it is simply just a tool by which those of us that choose to use our innate spiritual gifts can do so to provide you confirmation of your own intuition, guidance, and encouragement in your unique life path. These are general readings divided into just a small group of options for everyone that could be watching, so not the entire message will be perfectly resonant to you. But if the message you picked doesn't sound like you at all, then you might have not picked intuitively, and you can go back to pick a different option. Just remember that we are just messengers here, and your guides choose what they allow us to know, since life is full of surprises. So let's welcome in these fabulous mystics that join me in this collaboration. Intuitive Guidance with Emily, Beautiful Awakening with Shantia, Tarot with Ruby, Soul Insights and Tarot with Michele, Astro Wheel of Fortune, and me, Velvet Cat. To pick one of us for your reading as intuitively as possible, I encourage you to take a moment to breathe in and breathe out. Which one of us do you vibe with? And once you have decided, then you can check out the pinned comment or description of today's video to click on the name of the reader you chose, and the video will fast forward itself to your message.
Hi everyone, welcome to your reading. So my name is Emily from Intuitive Guidance with Emily, and this will be your reading on how a psychic would describe you. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in any more readings from me, then hop over to my channel to see my many videos that I have posted in the past. And as usual on my channel, I usually write down some messages while I shuffle the cards. I haven't seen any of these cards, which will go deeper into the messages, and I'll decipher more of what I wrote down as we go through it. So here's what I wrote down. So I wrote down here, Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk, someone with two sides. You may battle between being calm, cool, kind, and collected. You may step into the scarier parts of you later on in life as you start to embrace the whole of yourself. You may feel, and another message is, you may feel like you want more from life and people, but you don't know how to articulate it. And as I was shuffling the cards, I found it interesting that I wrote about Mark Ruffalo, because Mark Ruffalo is an actor who plays Bruce Banner and the Hulk. So basically, he's battling with three sides of himself. So while he's acting, he has to not put himself into the role. He has to play two different characters. So it's like some parts of you may feel like you're putting on the back burner, and then there's one side of you that you show, and then the other that you fight against. And it's like maybe there's just many battles within yourself that you try your best to work around, but it's about merging with those sides of yourself later on in life, finding ways to merge within yourself, merge with yourself. And then you may feel like you want more from life and people, but you don't know how to articulate it. And maybe you can't articulate it because you haven't merged with yourself just yet. And it's like when you're not merged with yourself, how can you want more from people when you can't even settle with yourself? I feel like that's going really, really deep into it, but that's what I wrote down anyway. But let's get into your cards anyway. Actually, yeah, I'll start off with the archetype cards. So let's start off with these two. We have Poet, and then we have Trickster. Wow, so they're both so the Trickster has a guitar or a ukulele, whatever that is, and the poet, he speaks beautiful words, writes beautiful lyrics to spread to the world, to open people's eyes to the beauty in this world and the beauty of the mind. And it's like, you have a beautiful mind, and I feel like there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot that could be explored if you write it down. So maybe you are, or could have the potential to be a poet. You have the potential to say beautiful things, but maybe there's this side of you that is hiding from it and is projecting something different to the outside world, because maybe you don't think that that side of yourself is beautiful, is lovely, and you want to put on a different face because maybe you want to keep this side of yourself to yourself. But there's so much of you to explore, there's so much of you to navigate around, as I was saying before, with those messages I wrote down. Because you are a high-flying kind of person who can explore different lands, who can explore the different lands of the unseen as well. Because poetry is unseen, it all comes from the top of your head. So it could be that there's a lot that's going on in your head, and maybe you do articulate it, or maybe you don't, you just put on a mask, or maybe you are an actor actually, or an actress, and it's just about playing different roles, and being good at playing different roles. But then it comes the question, who are you really? What sides of yourselves are you hiding? And why are you uncomfortable at expressing those sides of yourself? If those messages resonate with you, then that's great. But if not, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Because I do see here that you see a lot of the world, and you may put it into writing, and you express it through music or acting or dance, lyrics, stuff like that. And it's very important that you do that. But then sometimes maybe you project a different type of feeling that maybe you didn't want to project in the first place, and there's kind of like a tussle between those two sides, or three sides even. Wow, I didn't expect it to go in this direction. Well, let's go in deeper into it. We have, wow, okay, that makes sense. Child wounded, light attributes, awakens compassion and desire to serve other. Wounded children opens the learning path of forgiveness. Shadow attributes, blame or dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Resist moving on through forgiveness. So we have child wounded. Maybe it goes back to your childhood, where your inner child is wounded, basically, with the wounded up here. And I feel like you love hugs, you love to keep warm, you love to feel cozy around others, and maybe you like to hold other people's attention and like to heal others by your song, by your acting. through your words, through your lyrics, through your poems. And that makes other people feel warm and cozy with you. Those are very interesting messages because I'm getting many different sides of the story. So just take what resonates anyway. But let's go deeper into this. So how would a psychic describe you? How would a psychic describe you? We have the Six of Swords in reverse, yeah. How would a psychic describe you? Okay, that one wants to be read. We have the World. I feel like some things you like to show to the world, but then there are some things that you keep a hold of in mentally. Let's get one more. Yeah, because with the Six of Swords, it's all upright. It's all about being able to shift your mindset, being able to go with the flows and tides. But it's kind of like a stagnant energy when it's in reverse, and it's kind of like staying in one place, not being able to move forward much mentally. So it's like you don't want to go somewhere in your mind, and it's like, okay, I'm going to lock that out and I'll show this side of myself to the world, and I'm going to put on an act to this world with Mark Ruffalo and the Hulk and Bruce Banner. Because maybe you fear of being judged by other people at the bottom of the deck here, and with the Hanged Man here, you kind of like to stay in a safety net, in a safety zone. But I'm kind of getting here, it's okay to explore those past selves, your past selves, because maybe with Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner, and the Hulk, these are 3 different stages in your life. And it's like, yeah, the past is the past, but you have to integrate those parts of yourself in at some points in your life, because it's unhealthy. I'm getting here. Wow, the Moon at the bottom of the deck and the King of Pentacles. It's like being comfortable in your shadow. Maybe some of you are comfortable in your shadow and maybe some of you aren't. But with the Six of Swords upright, this is about moving on, but you prefer to stay in certain situations or stay in a certain mindset. Yeah, so let's get one more card. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Queen. Wow, the Five of Pentacles. This is a very deep card to me, and it really goes with what I was saying here, where you're not ready to move on. This person is outside of the door wondering, why isn't this door opening and why can't I move? So there's something you're not moving on from, and you are expressing a certain side to yourself to the world, but you're not moving internally for some reason. There's something that needs to be explored. And then we have Boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve goals. I mean, I'm getting like you are a very happy, joyful person and have a good energy about you, but there's some things deep down that are lingering. We have Eye Psychic ability, trust your intuition, and Dark Woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with a dark complexion or hair. So we have 3 very psychic cards here, even 4 with the Poet. The Poet, the Queen of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Eye. So you do have some sort of psychic ability with you, But the Queen of Wands is very comfortable with the shadow and even the Hanged Man. So I'm kind of saying in order to access more of your abilities, then you have to become comfortable in all that you are, in your shadows, in the different aspects of yourself, in your mind, how you show up to the world. Because you want your outside to reflect the inside and the inside to reflect what's going on the outside. But I am seeing that there is a sense of determination here with this boot. And it's like, oh, step into my shoes. So maybe you need to show yourself some empathy. Show yourself more empathy. And so you can become a more empathic person. Empathic or empathetic? Yeah, empathetic. Empathetic person. And maybe you are a woman with dark hair. Maybe you have dark hair and dark eyes as well, and really nice eyebrows. Maybe you have really dark features and you love to wear makeup. And that's kind of like another mask as well, because with acting, that's like putting on a mask, putting on a front, and this person has a mask on as well. So maybe you enjoy role playing, wearing masks, acting, singing, writing poetry and performing, something like that. But just take what resonates, because there were many messages here. All right, yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you. I didn't realize it would go into this direction. It went pretty deep there, but this is how a psychic would describe you as a person. I hope you enjoyed these messages. Don't forget to check out my channel, Intuitive Guidance with Emily. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye!
Hello, for those of you who have chosen my piles. So the way I usually do my readings, I will pick up on energies, look at the crystal and read the crystal, and then I will unveil your oracle cards, and then we'll pull some tarot that I also have here. So let's go ahead and look into how would a tarot reader describe you. Guides, align me with the energies, please. Okay. I feel like you are a learner of life. So someone who's always willing to learn, someone who's always willing to open their mind and grow and grow. I think there's a fire inside of you as well, in terms of like what brings you. I think inspiration is very important in terms of like how you would move in life and move towards life. So you're definitely someone who likes to stretch themselves, someone who likes to expand, someone who likes to learn more. I think you're a very harmonious person as well. I think you like to put a lot of effort and energy into working with other people, into trying to create a harmonious environment around you. I think that's important. I was just seeing two hands come together like this. You're a team player. I think you're a team player. I think you're someone who really takes into consideration other people's feelings and what they want to do. And before that, I was seeing a tree, like branches coming out. So I feel like that's why you're the learner of life. You're someone who's like your branches. You like to reach out and learn and like gain more experiences, learning experiences and wisdom from life. You're open. I feel like you're also a very open-minded person as well. I mean, I think without question, I mean, you're into tarot, so I think you like to really dig into the depths of life. I was just seeing like two eyes like come closer and closer. I think you're very inquisitive about people or curious about the depths of life. You want to know more. You want to see things closely. Okay, let's see what the crystal unveils. So you guys got the selenite heart for yours. That was the chosen energy for your crystal reading. I think you have a very peaceful and beautiful presence about you. Like I'm kind of like getting a sense, or like a sense, like I'm feeling like I think that's how people feel around you. It's like you feel really relaxed. So if I were to describe you to someone, I'd be like, this person makes those around them feel really relaxed and content and at peace with themselves. Very centered. I think all around you just have a really good heart. Here, selenite heart. I feel like there's like a glow about you as well. I mean, look at this crystal. It's so glowy. There's a kind of radiance about you. I think you would stand out. You stand out to a crowd. You stand out. somehow. It's like a really peaceful, beautiful presence, maybe even angelic. I think you most definitely been through heartbreak. I'm seeing like a little bit of like indents here in this heart. I feel like you've definitely been through heartbreak or disappointment from those around you, whether it's family, friends, or someone you really loved hurt you. Like they cut. You've been through those painful experiences, and I think that's what's taught you the value of what real love or real kindness is. Yeah, you've definitely taken up some dings in life, disappointments. I'm really getting the sense that you've maybe been sometimes maybe passive because you've been trying to keep the peace in relationships before, where you've just kind of like people have sort of hurt you or disappointed you, and you wanted to, you to some degree maybe even understood that they are hurting, so you let them. You let it pass. It's like, I'm feeling like you didn't really say anything because you're like, okay, I know this person is hurting. So you're the type of person you really understand, or you're wanting to understand other people's perspective. Okay, let's pick up your cards. So the first card we have for you, let's do it in this order, is Empress. Beautiful. Connecting to the earth reminds me that abundance is unlimited. So you're just like a beautifully abundant human being, and I think just beautiful and attractive. To me, the Empress, she embodies all the queens, and we got Venus and Taurus, so I think you're most definitely not only a harmonious presence around people, but just also beautiful in general. People find you really beautiful, very feminine, very beautiful, very nurturing as well. I think you're also quite creative, full of ideas, full of inspiration. I think you most definitely, when it comes to women, you're very feminine. You're very harmonious with women and their energy. You're in tune with your cycles. That's very important for you to listen to, that is your cycles. I think you are also quite natural when it comes to how you take care of yourself or how you like to stand out. Because I feel like the selenite is quite, there's a glow to it, but it's a very natural glow. There's not a lot going on. I feel like that's you as well. You don't really have a lot going on. You really keep it like just so simple and pure, maybe even clean. I think people find you very pure-hearted and pure intention as well. We have here Ambition, Nike, 38. That's my Capricorn card right there. So 3 and 8 adds up to 11, which is about self-mastery. 8 is about abundance, prosperity, and 3 is about exploration. So I think it's really important for you. You're very, you have like long-term goals. It's very important for you. I would describe you as someone who like you really want to build like success for yourself, or you really want to build a beautiful future for yourself. You're the type of person who is thinking like long-term in terms of like kids, house, home, career. Like you want and you desire for all of these things, and you're really working to create all of this abundance in your life. I think you really reflect on, and you've journaled and thought about what you've really wanted in life. And we have another 3 here. I think you've explored certain things. I think you're also quite gifted or talented at certain things as well. And that's something, yeah, I think you're very gifted, very talented here, without question, with that Venus and the ambition. That's like such an interesting combo to me, because the feminine energy, like that's about the creativity, and the masculine energy is about the doing. You have a nice balance of both here. You might actually be a Libra or a Taurus. So we also have here Ritual, Celebrate Life, Solar Plexus. So solar plexus is all about confident. You really believe in celebrating life. You really believe in enjoying yourself. I love the golds here. Very similar imagery. Number 12, which also adds up to 3. So you might actually have a very powerful 3rd house. So I think you have a very strong will in terms of like being very, very determined about what you want to do, what you want to create. You have a vision for yourself, a vision for the life that you're trying to create for yourself. It's so important for you. You've put work into building your confidence, into building yourself. We have here Mercury, and I think that was clarified by Libra. Yeah. You have really good judgment. You have really good judgment, and I think people really come to you for advice. People like to come to you for advice about like what they should do, what's the best decision, because you're very balanced. So you have like a really nice balance of masculine and feminine energy. You really think things through. The way you communicate, I think, can be quite elegant. Maybe people really enjoy the sound of your voice. Maybe they also, you have this ability to sing as well. And you're quite graceful as well to listen to watch. We have your Gemini. Oh my God. That is so crazy. So much air energy. you're smart as heck. You definitely have some like advanced communication skills without question. An ability to just kind of see people, get people, enjoy their presence. I think people really just enjoy being around you. You know how to carry a fun conversation. I think people just enjoy talking to you. In general, there's like butterflies here too. So something about the transformation is important to you. Creating a transformative experience. You've transformed. The person you were before is not who you are now. Yeah, very intelligent, very talkative. Maybe you also can be quite talkative. I think this is about things you're genuinely passionate about, because I'm getting strong passion over here. Like someone who's very, like, when they have an idea, they just go for it. So when you get really passionate about something, you just go for it. And I think you get really animated when you're talking about things that you're very passionate about, very animated, yeah, very creative, like with these combinations like Mercury, Gemini, because Mercury is just full of ideas. Libra is in a house to generate ideas in a way that's really beautiful, in a way that is very pleasing to other people. And then Gemini, they're just so curious. That's why they never run out of inspiration. Okay. And then we have your fit teen lovers. Wow. Okay. So without question, you're very attractive, very magnetic. People really enjoy your presence. So as far as like partnerships goes or friendships goes, I feel like you generate really healthy partnerships or connections in your life because people just really enjoy being with you, around you, talking to you. I can't believe you got the Lovers card. That's just like Gemini, like third house. You might have a really strong third house or strong Libra, Mercury, or Gemini in your chart as well, or Mercury and Gemini, Mercury and Libra. Yeah, so your Mercury is on fire for sure, without question here. Yeah, I think you're just, in general, just like very attractive, very enjoyable to be around. I think you are very graceful, very beautiful presence as well. Just fun, very joyful. I'm getting like really playful, very joyful to be around as well. 1 and 5 add up to 6, which is about heart and listening to your heart. 5 is about creativity. Life path 5s are very creative. They like changing. They're very changing energy. I feel like you have a lot of ideas. You like to make things new. You like to be inspired. You don't like to just have the same old. You like to create more inspiration or bring more inspiration into your life, or find a way to see things in a new light, or see things from a new perspective as well. Yeah, the tree branching out makes a lot of sense. But I think you always have a way of like really engaging people. You might actually have like really beautiful teaching, like with this strong Mercury here, very impeccable teaching qualities. Like you're always learning, you're always thinking about things, and you have a way of communicating. So this definitely formulates to make someone who is a really powerful teacher. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some additional clues. Additional clues about this pile, guys. Oh yeah, you've definitely been disappointed and walked away. You've learned how to mature and be the mature one in relationships or in situations that have not served you. Tell me more. Yeah, I feel like you're just smart as heck. Oh, you guys got the Empress again. I think you guys are just smart as heck. So it's like you've learned how to mature. You have a lot of, even though I'm getting a lot of air energy, I think you have a lot of emotional intelligence. Like you've learned how to make better decisions when it comes to the people you're around. It's like, okay, this isn't healthy. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something that is better. You've had to learn what are your limits and what is appropriate for you. Wow. You are brilliant, my dear. You guys are brilliant. You guys are getting insane downloads all the time. Lots of creative ideas, very inspired. You think clearly. It's coming through in your reading quite strongly. You think very clearly. And it's so crazy how I was looking at this, and even though it says Venus and Taurus, I was thinking Libra and it popped up. And then we have all this air energy. It's like very powerful in your reading. Yeah, you guys are just like very insightful. I think you're just really inspiring and insightful to be around or talk to as well. So with this Empress energy, I mean, without question, people do find you quite attractive. You're just very beautiful all around. I think this combination is quite intoxicating. It's like you have this beauty about you. I want to say like a natural beauty that's coming through. I think you're just like naturally very beautiful, naturally very attractive, but it's also your aura is very beautiful, very easy, very flowy. Yet at the same time, you're so intelligent. You're so intelligent. Like you're so, I think people might, maybe they start talking to you like, wow, this person really thinks things through. They really think about how life works. And they want to live like a very beautiful and lively experience. Guides, tell me more. Yeah, I love all the yellow tones. To me, that always takes me to Gemini energy. It's just very warm. And the cool tones. So you have like yellow tones and cool tones. So the cool tones to me is like intellect and throat chakra energy. Your throat chakra may be very lit. And then these yellow tones is just like a lot of warmth. So we have here Moon in Cancer in the 5th house. Very creative. Wow. So empathic, so giving, so nurturing. You're like, I don't know why Mother Mary came into my mind, but you're very nurturing. You have a very nurturing quality to you. So you're always very considerate of like other people. To me, that 5th house is, to me, you have like a very magnetic way of like being around people and just being this like beautiful, pleasing presence. Empathic. So I think you just pick on, even with this air energy, I think you just maybe even psychically pick up on people's needs and kind of what they're wanting, what they're desiring. I'm not gonna lie, with this Moon in Cancer in the 5th house, that's like popularity energy for me, because the Moon is about popularity. 5th house is like a lot of like really creative people have that placement, very talented people. So it's like you're known for your gifts, you're known for your talents, you're known for something you're able to do really well. It could also be about children as well. But I think you have this very charismatic quality about you. I wouldn't doubt it with this combination. It's quite intoxicating, but I think you can be quite charismatic whenever you desire to be. You have this way of, again, just like knowing people, like knowing how to be supportive or a support unit for people. Okay, anything else you want to tell me about this pile? We'll end the reading. Okay. Wow, King of Pentacles. Yeah, so you guys are ambitious. It's very important for you guys to achieve the height of success in whatever endeavors. I wouldn't doubt it with that Venus and Taurus. Like the Empress, she's all the queens in ones. And with this air energy, I think you just have really brilliant ideas for how you can be successful and create success for yourself. And then, yeah, with that King in Capricorn, you got like a masculine. So I was picking up on that energy. But yeah, you got like the King of Pentacles to me, and I immediately was thinking about Capricorn when I saw this, like someone who's very ambitious, someone who has their head on straight. You have your head on straight. I think in terms of like partnership or friendship or whatever, you are someone would want on their team, because you have long-term goals. You're thinking long-term. At the same time, you know how to have fun and enjoy yourself. You're very grounded. I think there's a humbleness to you. I think you're very grounded. You have a way of making sure not to get too up in your head, even though you can be maybe even lost in your fantasy world from time to time. But at the same time, it's so important for you to be present with people, be present in your life, and to be creating results. I think results are important for you. You want to achieve, create more success, and just be all around awesome. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day or evening. Bye.
Hi, thank you for tuning in with me with my reading. I'm Ruby from the YouTube channel Tarot with Ruby, and today we're going to take a look at how a psychic would describe you. Let's get right into the reading, starting with your current energy. What energy are you bringing into the reading? That way you can also take a look at whether or not you tune into the right pile or the right reader, or if it doesn't resonate, then you can go ahead and pick another reader that resonates with you better. We're here to give you an accurate reading that resonates. So let's take a look at your overall current energy. I have the Hermit card, which is to me an indication that either you've been feeling alone or you've been more on your own. You really are trying to figure things out by yourself, whether that is more in a relationship status or in your career, in your life in general. The Hermit card is about introspection, taking a look within, seeing what it is that you need yourself. Maybe even could also be an encouragement of trying to tune out a little bit, take a little bit of a break off of social media to see who you are when you don't feel like having the pressure of posting on the internet all of the time or always staying in contact with family, with friends. Even though it can be fun, it can sometimes also be really draining to constantly be attached to your phone. Let's see what else I have for your overall current energy. I have the Page of Pentacles. This to me is a card of someone who is, like I said, figuring things out. You seem to be really focused on whatever goals you want to achieve. The Page of Pentacles to me is an indication of someone who is very goal oriented, who knows what they want out of life. And if they don't, they will have a goal to create goals for themselves. That is how I see the Page of Pentacles. I feel like that very much goes together with the Hermit card as well, because the Hermit card is the card that is associated to the zodiac sign of Virgo. And the Page of Pentacles is an indication of earth signs, which Virgo is an earth sign. So either you might have some earth energy in your chart that feels very prominent right now, or you might have some Virgo energy that also feels prominent in your chart. Now let's get on to the juicy part of the reading. How would a psychic describe you? Now, I do not see myself as a psychic. I definitely am a tarot card reader, but I want to take a look. When I think of describing yourself, I'm very much about self-empowerment. So we're going to start with taking a look at what are your best qualities? What are your best qualities? Let's take a look. We're starting with the Eight of Pentacles. You are dedicated. You are so hardworking. What we see here is someone who is really doing repetitive work, but really trying to get better at what they want to do, what they want to achieve. I definitely feel like one of your best qualities is that you are such a hard worker. With that, I do want to give the warning that work is not everything. Your career is not everything. And this could also indicate, like, take a look at this. Is this because they are creating the same thing over and over again because they want to create the same thing over and over again? Or is this a little bit of perfectionism where every pentacle that they had created so far isn't up to their standards, isn't perfect yet. So they try to perfect something that is already good enough to exist. And this can be some sort of an analogy of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, or how you feel about yourself, that you feel like you need to be more perfect, that you need to be more polished in whatever way, but really you are already good enough. And I think that it could bring out even more of the best of you that could be brought out of you if you believe that more. Then also here I have the Empress. And Empress to me is a very mothering figure, very caring, very gentle. And I see that here with the hard work as well with the Eight of Pentacles, where you definitely seem to really care about other people. I think you are someone who is very much there for other people. I have the Queen of Wands here, which is to me a card of warmth and confidence. So I think that sometimes this overlaps to me in what already is your best quality or what your potential could be for your best qualities. So I think that you are very much encouraged to have that care that you have for other people, to have that for yourself as well, to take as good care of yourself as you are taking care of other people. Now, the Empress, like I said, is a mothering figure, which could indicate for some of you that you are parents. So it can be really hard to take care of your child as much as you take care of yourself. But I still think that it's very valuable and it's very necessary for yourself to bring out the best in yourself, to do some self-care, to treat yourself right, as well as to have the confidence to be yourself, be out there. The Queen of Wands is someone who is very, very warm person. So we already talked about some Earth and Virgo energy. The Queen of Wands directly associates to the zodiac sign of Aries. However, I'm a Leo and I very much relate to the Queen of Wands myself as well. Just being very warm, being very kind. And those are some of your best qualities. I don't know, I'm getting a really nice vibe from this. I'm getting a really nice vibe off of your energy. And I hope that you're feeling that too. Now let's take a look at, we're not going to go from best qualities to worst qualities. I just want to take a look at what are your challenges in life? Like, what are some qualities about yourself, whether those are some traits, which makes me instantly think of The Sims 4, I don't know. But what are some things about yourself that are challenging you in life? Like, I don't want to take a look at what are outside sources, like what are outside challenges, but what is it within that you are challenging with? I have the Two of Cups, which could indicate that you're having a hard time connecting to people or really connecting really deeply to people, which could indicate from previous trust issues. This could indicate relationships or friendships, but there might be someone who has hurt you in the past, like I said, friendship, relationship, whatever it is. And that is sort of holding you back from trying again, or which very much makes me understand why we got the Hermit card in the beginning for your current energy, because you want to do things alone and you struggle with connecting with people, trusting people to help you along the way. And I think there's definitely value in being alone and doing things by yourself, because I think it's important to be independent. However, we need to be careful to not stray so much to the independent side that we're finding it hard to create connections with people and to let people in and to let people help us. So that is one challenge that I see here for you in the Two of Cups. Let's take a look at what other challenges we can find. I have the Knight of Pentacles. Some of you watching might have the challenge of being a little impatient because we saw the Page of Pentacles, right? So it's very much about the goal setting and thinking about what you want to do with your life. But are you also acting on it? Because the Knight of Pentacles is sort of the next step, I guess, after the Page of Pentacles, where with the Page of Pentacles, it's all about the ideas, all about the goals, all about where are we going to take this? Where are we going to go? And the Knight of Pentacles is about taking that step and like slow and steady, I think it's called slow and steady wins the race. And that is what I always associate with the Knight of Pentacles. Are you actually taking action? Or is your challenge that, I don't like the word lazy in the sense that it's usually being used, but are you a little bit more taken back where you have a lot of ideas and you have a lot of inspiration and goals, but you really struggle to act on it? Also, I think what plays into this is the Seven of Cups here with your challenge, where we see a lot of options. Like I said, you might have a lot of ideas, but it's really hard to pick one and to see what am I really gonna choose? What am I gonna dive deep on instead of trying all of the things and not really diving deep into any of them? It might be hard for you to actually make a decision when you have so many options. Maybe you're one of those people, like I am, who really likes all of the things. And it's really hard to make a decision. Or sometimes it's like all of these options seem really great, but there's just one little negative thing with all of them. So it's like it doesn't feel perfect and you are waiting for the perfect opportunity, but it's not going to come. And if it does, then it will only come because you chose a path and you worked on it. You were patient. You were building it slow and steady until the perfect opportunity came on your path. But it's not gonna just enter your life while you do nothing. You have to do something in order to get those opportunities. So before you leave, I want to pull some oracle cards from the Prism Oracle. It's really stunning because I want to take a look at some advice. I always want to end my readings with some advice, some actionable steps to really get the best out of you and to take a look at how you can really evolve your best qualities as well as how you can take on your challenges. So we're starting with confidence. I feel like that goes so well with, where is she? The Queen of Wands. That goes so well together. I think it's going to be so important and so beneficial for you to build up confidence. Let's take a look what else. Faith. Like I said, it can be really hard to pick a path and to stick to it and to do the hard work. But as long as you have faith in yourself, in your ability to make decisions, I think everything is gonna turn out just fine. And the last tip that the deck has for you is to cleanse. And we can see this as like part of self-care, I think, where you not only spiritually cleanse your space, maybe with some incense or however you prefer to cleanse your space, but also cleanse yourself, take a bath, take a long hot shower, take good care of your body, and to also honestly cleansing can go so deep, like I said, spiritually, physically, but also in your own actual space. Do you have a lot of clutter that feels a little bit overwhelming, that feels like it is pressure on your shoulders to have all this stuff around you that might make it really hard for you to actually do things? Like, what do you have in your surroundings, whether that is objects, just stuff, or people in your life who you really need to cleanse out of your life? I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but I truly believe in choosing yourself pretty much always. That is the reading that I have for you. I'm pretty sure Kat will link my stuff in the description box below. I'm youtube.com/tarotwithruby. I'm also Tarot with Ruby on Instagram as well as TikTok, where I post my shorts from my live stream, because I do political tarot readings on my live stream every Saturday. I also talk tarot every Wednesday, and I have a weekly podcast where I pull cards for the week ahead. Thank you so much, Kat, for including me into the video. I'm really excited to see what the other people in this video are gonna say, so I'm definitely excited to watch. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
Hello, Soul Light. It's really great to connect with you, and it's my honor and gift to tune in for you. My name is Michele, and I'm a conscious and a trance channel psychic medium, and I use tarot because it's so amazingly visual and really taps into the deeper energies and archetypal expressions that we have here on the earth plane. It's nice to see the cards coming out. All right, we're going to be looking at what type of psychic you are. And I'm already getting, before I even started shuffling, I'm getting you're also an empath. You're very empathic. You pick up things. So you could also be clairsentient, feeling a lot. And I am hearing you are one that perhaps needs to even guard your energy a little bit, protect your energy, maybe do aura cleanse or do Reiki, work with energy work, or spending time in nature or in the mountains would be really helpful for you also to shift. Also baths would be really good for you, aromatherapy baths, working with essential oils, or things like sage or Palo Santo would be great for you for grounding. Okay, I'm going to put the cards out and then we'll look at them and see what you've got here. Also going to look at oracle cards as well. All right, so the first card that jumped out was the King of Cups. And again, remember I said you were an empath, so I'm getting a lot with feeling and sensing is very strong for you. I also feel if you really develop your feeling about something, really focus on how you feel about something or someone or a situation and trust that, then you will even get stronger messages coming through. So part of what I do as a reader is I look at the Akashic or the soul level of a person, and within that your destiny, your soul's path, and your soul's purpose. And then we've got the Four of Cups. Again, that's just giving me what I was getting from the channeling, is that you need to take time out to refuel. You could pick up other people's energies. So you're going to be one that needs to refuel a bit. And I would say also asking, is this my energy or is it their energy? Am I picking up on someone's energy? Even if somebody in someone's house, it doesn't even have to be a person. It could be a place that you're at. That can influence you. Then you've got the Two of Swords. So again, meditation would be good for you, being in nature, anything that kind of calms the mind. Now you've got the Hierophant here, which the Hierophant energy is a 5, so it is also about being a catalyst also for change through teaching or sharing your insights. This is also telling me that you can connect with your higher self very easily, or if you haven't, it would be a good time to start getting to know and connect with your higher self, listen to your higher self. You have a lot of inner knowing. I also see psychically that you came in on what we call the soul plane of a teacher. So no matter what you do or where you're going, you are also always teaching. And we've got the Queen of Wands here. So Hierophant, we've got Taurus energy, connecting with the higher self, being the intermediary between the spirit realm and the mundane, or helping other people connect to their own spiritual side. And with the Queen of Wands here, it's also telling me that part of your psychic ability or talent can come also through self-expression, also working on your own, maybe being a reader, having your own YouTube channel, that kind of thing would be great. 9 of Pentacles. So I do get from this group, this soul group that I'm reading for, that part of your mission or plan is to integrate your psychic ability into your life, into your work. Maybe you actually are a reader on YouTube, or you give private readings or group readings. Maybe you're going to teach others how to become more psychic or even more intuitive. The 9 of Swords you have here, and then we end with the High Priestess. Again, talking about the psychic ability. Pisces energy with the High Priestess. And it's also saying that there may be some things right now at this time of the reading that you may not know. You may not know your next steps. You may not know, but you are being guided by a deeper part of you. I really do get with this 9 of Swords, you really just have to be aware of other people's energy, or notice if you're taking on other people's energy, especially people really close to you, or people that you're reading for. Just make sure, or also you could be tapping into universal energy, the earth energy, what's going on with the world. So you are going to have to take time to do a bit of a cleanse or a detox, or just a shift in energy. You could do Qigong, Tai Chi, any kind of movement, or again, being by in nature, in the mountains, or at the beach or lake. There's negative ions there that are emitted that dissolve and break up denser energy, negative energy. All right, let's get into the oracle cards for you. Again, highly, highly psychic, intuitive. You're very intuitive, and again, an empath also. And I'm also saying probably clairsentient. If you are clairsentient and you want to be more clairvoyant, like clear seeing, or clairaudient hearing, that will be coming, as long as you trust your intuition and what you feel in your body. Then you've got Zen Garden, inner sanctuary. Okay, so to me this taps back in to the 4 of Cups and 2 of Swords. You're just going to have to take regular time out to refuel, recharge, to chill, right? To just recalibrate your energy, especially if you're around a lot of people, or for some of you it's just certain people. But definitely if you're doing a lot of intuitive work, you need to take that into consideration. So Zen Garden, I love that. That's just so perfect. And there's a tree on there. I don't know if you can see. So again, really about being in nature, replenishing, finding your own ways to replenish. And it's not a little bit on the mental realm. It's really your body. Your body absorbs. You absorb a lot of light, but also a lot of denser energy. You can absorb a lot of negativity from the environment or people around you. So your environment is also going to be very important to you. I do get a lot with water would be good. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water as well. Water helps the conductivity of the higher vibrational energy. Oh, look at this, third eye vision. There it is, confirmation. Reclaim your mind. So again, some of you could identify as an indigo, a starseed indigo child, adult indigo. Again, third eye vision. I feel for a lot of you, you're getting more in touch with your intuition and becoming more and more psychic. What psychic means coming from the soul. So you're getting your psychic vision, your third eye vision. So some of you could be very, very visual. You could really, if you tune in psychically, you could start getting impressions. All right, not just feelings, but also getting whole visuals, like storylines of what's going to happen to yourself or to a person. Okay, and also joy. Wow, that's beautiful. So I do feel a very happy-go-lucky part to many of you also, and I do feel that you love psychic work. I feel like you love being more psychic. Oh, look at this. As I'm saying love, so I love readings. What comes out? Soul love. So one of the things that you're here to do is help people, and yourself included, to feel more love, more soul love, more universal love, and to do things that you love. And also I feel to help people open up to do more of what they love. So you are coming in what we call the binding principle of all life, all creation is love. It's what's most life enhancing. So for you, coming from the heart, again, as an empath, is really important for you. So I would say people that are closest to you, you need to just be very aware of their energy and surround yourself with people that get you, that just see your brightness, your heart. You have a lot of heart energy. I'm just going to take out, let's see, one more message here. Gosh, could be Pisces energy. Again, working with the High Priestess energy. So you could also be involved in ritual, or ritual would be really good for you. Or follow the moon cycles. Okay, we got Neptune. Okay, again, so a lot with kind of the dreamy state, focus on your dreams. Maybe you're going to be doing dream interpretation, or your dreams have messages. But this also tells me that you could just out of the blue just start picking up messages. Like you meet someone or you get to know someone, and all of a sudden you're knowing more about them without them even asking. And again, that's because you have this merging quality of you, right? There's this part, and then again, Leo. So also very creative. You may be doing videos yourself or something very creative. This, to me, ties back into the Queen of Wands. So you're definitely here to create something new also, a new way perhaps of expressing yourself, a new way of tuning in. You could have a very unique or individual way of reading people, or cards, or how you work with tarot or the cards. I would definitely say, again, you're an empath. You feel things. There's a highly, perhaps even sensitive person, and also a very strong connection to your third eye, so that you can visualize, or you receive visions or messages visually about people. Especially if you meditate or tune in, I feel like you could start getting these flashes of insight, or flashes of guidance. Or maybe you have an issue or a problem or a concern, or a friend does, or someone you're working with, and all of a sudden, I got the idea. I know what we can do. I know what you need to do. So trust and listen to your inner guidance. All right, so your mantra, which is an affirmation, your soul insights mantra to help you on your soul path and developing yourself even more psychically, is, as I connect in within, I connect into my clear vision and my soul gifts. All right, Radiant Light, thank you so much for the honor of tuning in for you. Have a beautiful unfolding. I wish you so much love, light, wisdom, and abundance on your soul path.
Hello all, and welcome to this message. Thank you for choosing me as a reader. My name is Vlada and I read tarot, and my YouTube channel is Astro Wheel of Fortune. Thank you to Kat for inviting me to do this collab. I'm really excited to get into the message. So let's get into the message for you, the group that picked me as a reader. So the question we're answering today is, how would a psychic describe you? So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with tarot, and then I have a couple of oracle decks here as well that I would like to use. But we're going to get started with tarot first. So let's get into it. So how would a psychic describe this group? Page of Wands in reverse. I'm also feeling this card. Queen of Pentacles. This is kind of cool because the first thing that I'm getting with these two cards coming out, both of them being court cards as well, there's an interesting juxtaposition or contrast of immaturity versus maturity. And the way you would be described by a psychic,
would be as someone who may appear as a bit naive and immature, but only to the naked eye or to the people that don't know you very well. So there's a feeling, maybe it's the way that you look, maybe your physical appearance makes you seem younger and more naive than you actually are. But there's a sense of you coming across as a little bit immature, when in reality, you're an extremely grounded and aware person. Because the Queen of Pentacles, she's very, very aware of her surroundings. She's not easy to fool because she's so aware of her physical reality and what's around her. So your energy is something that always plays around with immaturity versus maturity. So a psychic might also describe you as someone who's hard to grasp in terms of like figuring out how mature or versus immature you are. So the first thing that I'm also noticing is that the Page of Wands being in reverse, to me, is kind of showing this sense of impatience. But then when we look at the Queen of Pentacles is probably one of the most patient court cards in tarot. So again, there's this almost contradictory energy, but I feel like it's immediate reaction versus what is deeper. So there is a very strong and persistent patience to you. Like a psychic would describe you as someone who's extremely patient, probably way more patient than most people. But for some reason on the surface, you give off the energy of someone who is highly impatient. And there is an unfair judgment that is made by a lot of people about you. I think a psychic would say that a lot of people make unfair judgments about you based on your appearance or based on, like for some of you, maybe you look really young. The energy here is like you might look much younger than your age, or there's just some sort of like naivety or impatience to you on the surface. And maybe you are someone who's impatient. Like, for example, you might get impatient waiting in a queue or a line. You might get impatient waiting around, but you are extremely patient with your goals, for example, or you're extremely patient with your loved ones. You're extremely patient with the big picture stuff, like the big goals, the big energies in your life. Yes, you might be impatient with small, minuscule things in your life, but that does not mean that you lack patience and follow through, full stop. So that is the first kind of immediate thing that I got from those two cards as we're going through this reading. So let's keep going. Let's see what else would a psychic say about you or describe you as. I keep hearing check out. So I'm not really, maybe a psychic would say that a lot of people check you out because I keep hearing check out. But this also could mean, this could also mean that a psychic could say that you are pretty checked out of some areas of your life. And the thing that I'm picking up on, the way that a psychic would describe you, I feel, would be to say that you're kind of checked out from caring about what other people think of you. Maybe it is as a result of really caring what people think of you for a very long time in your life. I'm also getting that you've got pentacles and wands as part of this spread. There's no cups, there's no swords. And wand energy mixed with earth energy makes me think of someone who is very, very driven. But it's interesting because the only two wand cards that you've got have come out in reverse. And to me, there is something about, I kind of get someone who it's like your intentions are always misinterpreted by people. or that might be your perception of things. Like, you may feel like a lot of people misinterpret your intentions. And I'm not saying that people always misinterpret your intentions as bad. I'm not saying this is like from a perspective of, I want to do good in life, but people always think I want to do something bad, or my intentions are bad. I would say this is a lot more complex. The energy here is very, very complex, where your intentions are misinterpreted. Like, maybe you want to go and do a certain career, let's say, because you really care about, I don't know why I'm getting care about the environment. So we're just going to go with that. That's just an example. Maybe you care about the environment, and that is your intention to go and do a certain job or a certain career path. But people might think that your motivation or your intention to do this job is because you actually are someone who wants to get to know a lot of people and network with a lot of people. And that is not the correct, it's not better or worse than the intention that you've set out for yourself, but it is not the intention that you had in mind. You know, you want to go and do a certain thing because you care about the environment, but people assume you want to do a certain thing because you want to network with people and connect with people. And maybe connecting with people is something that you do enjoy, but that is not your main intention. And that is coming through as such a big energy. Like, your intentions are always misinterpreted, at least from your perspective. And again, just to reiterate, not necessarily that people think your intentions are bad when your intentions are good, just people seem to kind of get confused with what your intentions actually are. Now, a part of it might be your own fault, and, you know, not in a bad way, but maybe you don't always make your intentions very clear. Maybe you send some mixed signals sometimes, and I feel like that's something that you might even be aware of. But what I'm getting, the way that a psychic would describe you would be as someone who has very specific intentions that you don't necessarily feel the need to share explicitly. And these intentions are mainly, with the Three of Pentacles being at the very center of this reading, always come down to wanting people to work together and wanting coherent collaboration. Kind of like someone who wants to create coherent collaboration with other people, but it's not necessarily, it's such a weird energy. It's like not necessarily because you're just like such a people person. You might even be a raging introvert, you know? You might even be very, very introverted, but there is a longing for coherent collaboration that keeps coming through. A psychic would describe you as someone who craves collaboration, not only within themselves with other people, but also just for the world, for the collective. There's a wish that the collective would collaborate and be more organized in their collaboration, or in our collaboration, I should say. So someone who cares about the collective, but not in the way that people would expect. I'm getting very strong 11th house energy with you, 11th house in astrology. So maybe you have like a stellium in your 11th house, or your 11th house is somehow affected quite, there's like an important aspect that is connected to the 11th house for you. But there's a lot of energy of wanting to nurture the collective, not necessarily by being very extroverted and meeting loads of people and networking with loads of people. In fact, I feel like it would be more towards the more introverted side. I think also there's a misinterpretation that happens with you, and a psychic would describe you in this kind of way. Someone who is an introvert, but for some people perceive them as an extrovert, but maybe this extroversion that people pick up on is a bit of a mask that you have felt you needed to put on from an early age, maybe in order to fit in, or in order to make friends or mingle. This feels like someone who actually prefers a more introverted lifestyle, but people maybe insist on them being extroverted, or it's like, you're so loud, or you're so outgoing. Oh my God, you're so, you know, like there might be that kind of misinterpretation. I couldn't even get that word out. But Yeah, I feel like a psychic would describe you as someone who's very often misinterpreted, but in a way, it doesn't bother you. It's not something, these misinterpretations might even amuse you or give you an insight into who you are as a person on a different level. It's kind of like, that's interesting that people perceive me like this when I know I'm not like this, when I know that that's not the case. So let's pull some astrology cards as well, to get more information on how a psychic would describe you. Wow, Aquarius, that's so funny because I was feeling that 11th house energy, and Aquarius is like the natural ruler of the 11th house. So yeah, Aquarian energy is also very interesting, and actually it reminds me of that, like someone who's an introvert but perceived as an extrovert. Aquarius people tend to be quite detached, and introversion is actually very common amongst Aquarian people, but they are very good at making friends, and they are very good with the collective. They are very good around people. They make friends very easily. Every single strong Aquarius placement that I've ever met kind of tended to have a lot of friends, but it did not mean that they were like super close to these people either. So that is confirming the energy that we were kind of picking up on here. So really cool. For some of you, I don't know why this is coming through, but you might be an Aquarius in Vedic astrology specifically, or have a lot of Aquarius placements in Vedic astrology. If Vedic astrology is something that you are interested in, that's very interesting that came through. Now we've got the 8th house coming out here, and the 8th house is really interesting. It can talk about things that we try to avoid, and things that we become obsessed with. And there's this quote that I heard a while back, a couple of months back, that I feel is like very astute, and goes along very well with the 8th house. The quote goes like this. It goes, "What we won't confront today will become tomorrow's obsessions." So there could be something about you as well as a person where you may leave things to the back burner a lot of the time. Kind of like procrastination energy, but not... Let me try and describe this. This is not necessarily like pure procrastination, but it feels like you could be someone who leaves things to the back burner from time to time, but inevitably you will come back to those things that you've left behind. You will come back to those things that you kind of forgot about, and they will become your obsession. You will make it your almost life mission to address the things that you've left to the back burner. So there's an interesting energy to you because you can detach from something that you know you should be dealing with quite easily. But when it comes to the point of no return, you become very obsessed with it, and you deal with things like kind of like quite intensely. Again, there's a misinterpretation that I'm kind of picking up on you, that that the misinterpretation energy is very strong with this reading. So I think that's the main point to take away, that you're very often misinterpreted, but it adds to your character, it adds to your flair, it adds, because that's Aquarian energy as well. Aquarian energy can be misinterpreted very easily because it's so unique and it's so different. But wow, rebel energy, and I always associate this with Aquarius as well. You could have strong Aquarius placements. So challenges authority to affect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. You affect social change. You are interested in affecting social change in some sort of way. You're interested in bettering the collective because you care. Sorry, I'm getting burps, maybe confirmation burps. You care about the collective. You care about cohesive, coherent collaboration within the collective. But it's not about you being this outgoing social, like I want to become close to like, you're not necessarily a social butterfly, although sometimes you have to take on that role in order to create this coherent, cohesive collaboration within the collective. You are actually someone who would prefer to be more private. Privacy is a big theme of the 8th house as well, would like to be more introverted. But for some reason, and maybe you're trying to figure out the balance of how do I allow myself the introversion that I so crave, without, or like while still being open to new collaborations, while still meeting new people and seeing the potential in other people. So I would think that a psychic would say that, especially in this phase of your life currently, as you're watching this reading, you're in a place where you're trying to figure out how to allow yourself to be more introverted while other people perceive you as more extroverted, and how to balance that. It almost feels like an ex-extrovert who was never truly like that much of an extrovert, trying to transition into their true introversion that they kind of felt more attuned to for a very long time, but didn't know how to connect to. But at the same time, someone who still cares about the collective and cares about people, just not in as an extroverted way as other people would expect or perceive. So that is the reading that I got for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. My channel is Astro Wheel of Fortune if you want to check it out. Thank you again to Kat for having me for this collaboration. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Hi lovely, so you chose me, Velvet Cat, as your reader, and now we're going to find out how I, or a psychic, would describe you. If, for example, a person that's interested in you asks a psychic about you, or a friend, or anyone watches readings on YouTube curious about you and who you are. All right, so this is quite interesting because a lot of these piles were getting 2 cards instead of 1. I was trying to get just 1, but I guess you have more messages. And also right here, there's a transition that to me makes a lot of sense first before I get into the rest of it. So here we have the happy card reversed, card number 26. Then we have the Rainbow Blessings card that says blessings are showering your life. And then we have Harmony and Resolution. So I kind of feel like this one here connects these 2 cards. See, with Resolution, it's talking about how I feel like your life has consisted of quite difficult experiences, some of which you're still holding on to. You can't forget about them. Of course, that's quite normal. And I still see that even though you've had that, you manifest beauty into your life. You make the best of it. You want a rainbow in your life? That's what you see. And because of that, you manifest even more blessings. You're the type of person that naturally creates harmony in your surroundings. You find your own solutions. You're not just going to let yourself drop and die. Basically, that's what I'm seeing here. And that's also shown with the 9 of Swords being reversed, because this one is about turmoil, sleepless nights, and turning against yourself, like your brain is buzzing with negativity, and with it being reversed, that shows how your head, your mind does not win. Perhaps you're still an overthinker, but that doesn't hold you back for long. And in addition to these cards, you also have Door to Spirit and Man holding a coin reversed. These are cards number 32 and 43. I'm actually gonna take this out so I could place them here. And then you have here the Nine of Swords reversed, as I said, with Ace of Pentacles. So let me move this out of the way. Then here we have 10 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. And here we have 9 of Spirals reversed, which is the 9 of Wands. Then here we have the Ace of Swords. And behind Happy Happy, we have the Higher Power reversed. Let me check here. Do we have one? No. Okay. So in Rainbow Blessings, that one's just one. And then Harmony and Resolution and 7 of Pentacles. Okay. So the rest of them are just ones. Now I'm about to get into the different aspects of the cards, and remember this is a general reading, so the energies kind of differ. Be discerning as to what messages are yours and what could be others. See, here's an example with 9 of Wands and 7 of Pentacles reversed. For some of you, I feel like you're impatient with yourself and your life plans and the things you tinker with, the things you work on, your goals. So because of this, you might actually make things a little bit more difficult for yourself, while for others, you actually figure out the easiest solutions. I kind of feel like those are two different ways of using your mind with having the Swords element here. Swords does have to do with the mind, with writing, communication, with research. And so, as I said, some of you use your mind to connect the dots and maneuver your way through challenges in the manner of living a more simplistic life, while others of you pile on the work and you do the research here, you do research there, you want to do everything yourself, put your hands into it, and then you might do so many different things that you're kind of like reducing the effort or the quality, spreading yourself thin, or not completing things. I find these cards quite interesting how they also look similar, with here having these clouds, these puffs of clouds up above, and then here having the vines and roots intertwining. This kind of looks reverse, where instead of starting from the ground up, you either figure out a way to elevate yourself with resources and connections, or you want to start already at the very end, and therefore you kind of end up not making sense of things. I sense here quite a complicated way of the way your brain works. You can see 10 steps ahead, but it might not always benefit you. And some of you, because of knowing how much of work consists for certain goals, becoming overwhelmed with all the steps, you might actually just not start it. But whatever which way you do move forward in life, I still sense that you figure out what works for you in the moment, because Ace of Swords is still putting in that work to make calls, apply yourself to things, do research and study. And Ace of Pentacles is about investing in what matters to you, what you value, what makes sense. Like, rather than overthinking it and stressing over it, or maybe even like investing into things that actually bring you joy. Like, you could be selective as to what you spend your money on. And that's confirmed with the 10 of Cups, because this is basically like what this card shows: rainbows, blessings, comfort, and gratitude. And I do also see with the 8 of Swords that once you make a decision, you stand firm. That's what you stick to. Perhaps you might not be the type of person that likes a lot of changes. So this could also mean stubborn and taking time to learn some lessons, taking time to get yourself out of your comfort zone, which I kind of also see here with how there's a castle looking out the window, kind of like how you build yourself your castle and you see other magical, wondrous things outside the window, but you don't go for them. At least not always. Because for your goals. It might take some time to build them up. I also feel that the reason you don't make so many changes all the time and you could stick to your comfort zone in certain ways, this could be because either you feel stuck with your finances, that's also represented with the Eight of Swords, that finances could get in the way sometimes, or, since this is a general reading, finances aren't a worry of yours, like some of you could be well taken care of and have support. But with having this man holding a coin card here, I feel that either money or certain material goals are still something that comes to mind for you, that you could wish would be different, where perhaps you could have more of it. And with having bowls of these two very spiritual cards, both reversed, I sense that you're someone that likes to have complete control of life. You rely only on yourself and no one else. So a lot of you are either not spiritual or you're distrusting of it and your intuition. But I feel here that no matter how you live your life, Spirit is still by your side, and there is no right or wrong way to live. Because as I like to say in my readings, you are the one that truly is in charge of your own life choices. Sure, your guides would like to help out, because I do feel that you have a bigger purpose in life. There's something about you that could impact the world, that could serve the collective, but it is up to you whether you seek that purpose and you take on it or not. And so other ways you would be described by a psychic to someone is that you're highly analytical, realistic, you only spend when you see value in it, you're generally able to cooperate and work with others, bring harmony to others, you do desire love and peace, a nice happy home, you could be a great speaker, writer, someone that understands history and science in a deeper way than most. And that's everything I got for you. If it resonated, let me know down in the comments below. I always love reading what people have to say. And I hope you also like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss my videos every time I post. Thank you for watching.